Welcome. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sadhana, and welcome to 40 days of restorative yoga. Today is day 36. Yesterday we started, or it was actually part 2 of the half frog posture, and today we're going to continue with that. And this is the setup that you're going to need for today. So of an elevated bolster, you may or may not need the block. And if you want something at the front of the pillow, not this small, something small to put underneath your head, perhaps a blanket, that's what you're going to need for today. So welcome, and thank you for being here. I'd like to come right away into breath today and invite you either to lie down on your back or to come to a comfortable seat and just start to let go. Start to breathe consciously, deeply, and to give yourself space. Create space for this 30 minutes together. And I hope that after this 40 days that this will inspire you to continue to create 20 or 30 minutes of space for yourself each day. And perhaps you'll continue with a single card draw, a little bit of journaling, and then settle into a posture of relaxation. I mean, what a beautiful gift to give to yourself every day. And so if you need direction, you can come back to one of the videos again and again. I think what I'll do on the 40th day is I will, on the 40th video, I'll create a document so you'll have a reference. And I might put it in each of the videos, I'll see, just so you have a referral so you know which pose is which day, if you want to go back and refer to each one. I have put it in the description box at the top of each video. And so you can go back and look there, but I'll try to do a summary for you and post that. Today's card is another deep dive, much like yesterday. And I'm going to write about yesterday's card and today's card together. I'm sure the weaver will reflect similar energy. Come to your breath. This is the Weaver's Oracle by Carolyn Hillier out of the UK. So yesterday's keyword was inquiry. And I really love that invitation. Not for intellectual achievement, but for self-discovery and to learn to see, to have revealed that which we need to become aware of so we can move forth on our journey more easily, right? It doesn't have to be a struggle. So I'll look to the tribe and also the direction of this weaver. If you're not familiar with this deck, these are, again, another deck full of layers and messages. These are cards that I generally work with for an extended period of time. It's great to have a weaver for each month or even a weaver for a season. What have we forgotten? We have another owl. I think in this series we've had at least 3 owls. This is another owl card. This is the ancestor of cold earth home. And she's under the full moon. Cold earth home. And I'm going to look that up for you. So this is card 19 if you have this deck. She is a North Weaver, and she is of the Blood clan. The appearance of the ancestor woman who lived close by the grave mounds was always startling. She was known as Voilu, the death owl. She was hunched and frail, with bony arms and legs bowed out by age, and thin feet bound in filthy rags. Beautiful story. I'm not going to read you her yarn because it's very long and we only have a short time together. But I want you to read about just about the end of her cloth. All our journeys arrive eventually to a place where old women dance barefoot on the earth and treat death as a friend. At last, trail worn, we are ready to join them and embrace our tasks as death owl crones. Here we stand listening to the earth. We are drawing our blood deep into the darkness of our wombs, and we are loosening our bones. Our wombs pulse with the power of our knowing blood. Our bones pull us down towards the earth. We place our feet onto firm ground, feel soil between our toes, feel mud around our heels. We stoop to gather clay into our hands and rub it into our faces and limbs. It sticks in lumps across our hair, and we smear dark peat around our breasts, and we powder fine loam over our knees. And then we begin to stamp our death owl crony dance, pounding our feet onto the soil, speeding up and slamming down, spinning on the earth faster and faster until suddenly we stop. We are still. We have danced ourselves into the earth. Our wombs are spilling over with unseen magic, and we have wound our power deeply into our core. Now we can apply our skills to mending and repairing, knitting together broken seams, sewing what is ripped and torn. We can turn our minds into silent lands, underworlds, inner worlds, and home. And we are crones in the full swing of things. We may act with more verve and vigor than we have known for many years, and we may sit with greater stillness than we have ever found before. Through it all, we will remember how to be authentic, generous, and bold. For as the death owl crones, we can say what we want, and we must say what we see. We will do what we can. So many, I'm laughing because I'm also doing a gratitude, a tarot gratitude challenge, which I'm going to do my first video later today. And the inspiration that came for me was one of, I was looking at a world card and I thought about spinning. Have you ever done that? Just gone out on the grass and just spun around. It just has this really freeing. And I was thinking about dancing. And as I was reading this old crone's dance, I thought, wow, okay, this day is coming full circle for me. But there's something about that rawness, right? Placing your hands in the dirt, dancing, being alive, feeling connected, and then just laying everything out. And then from there, it's like a major cleansing. It's like going forth, just feeling so much freer. And we were talking over many cards, many draws about just letting go. And so we let go, and then we have to be replenished. The cup has to be filled, right? We don't just let go, we have to fill up. And so whether yours is an earth dance, or maybe you're getting your hands dirty in your garden and you go out on a rainy day and you get covered with muck and mud, but there's a sense of connection and a sense of freedom that comes with this connection. And so I'm reminded of both not only letting go, but also filling up and being alive in every way that we can. And this posture today and tomorrow also really kind of speak to that. And to the womb as well too, which is really funny how all these deep connections, these layers continue to reveal themselves. So today I was going to do two parts of this posture, but I've decided I'm going to do it over 2 days because part 2 is really intense. So today we're going to go into the first part of the full frog. Day 10 was the first variation. Yesterday was the second variation with one leg raised up a little bit. Today we're going to do it both legs simultaneously. So come down onto your bellies. Sorry, I'm still a little bit blown away by all these connections. Come down onto your bellies, and you'll need to have something at the end of the mat, I'm guessing, because most of us cannot get the feet right down onto the floor unless you are a child. Children can do this easily. So if you're practicing with a child, don't let that frustrate you by any means. Okay, so let's come into slumber party pose, as one of my friends called it. With your feet up in the air, you can have your knees separated like you would in a reclined saddle pose. And just, you can pick up your hips, adjust your pelvis. If your pubic bone is feeling a little cranky, you can place a blanket underneath your mat, between your mat and your body. Soften between the shoulders. And take some deep breaths. Rest your feet together. Feel your heels touching your heels. Feel the connection of both feet. Can you touch your toes? Can you connect your toes together? And then as you are able, and you may need to make an adjustment because the pillow behind you isn't high enough, you can gently rock side to side and just bring some ease into the hips. All you're going to do is keep your feet together and lower them onto your bolster. And then lower your forehead down to the mat. And I'm definitely going to adjust. Mine is too close. If you have somebody to help you, this is one of those postures where it's great if you have somebody to help position your bolster for you. And I've never bound my ankles or feet in this posture, but I think that might be actually a really helpful thing to do. And so I'm going to go on the fly here and just actually try that, because one of the things in restorative yoga is that we don't want to feel like we're holding, right? And if this is a challenging shape for you, some of you may be able to release your feet all the way to the floor. And so I'm going to bring my hands underneath, just simply release and come up. And I'm going to try this today actually with bound feet. It might be a little bit of a challenge to roll around and get into this, especially with such a long strap. We'll see. This might not be a great idea. But I find with restorative yoga, different days, different postures, different shapes. I really like to play with this practice. And I've been practicing restorative for quite some time. And it just feels quite natural to, this is the curiosity that we were talking about yesterday, right? So I'm going to see if I can do this. Because then I don't have to hold my feet. Brilliant. Okay. So I'm going to give you a minute to find your support and find your shape. And right now I have my heels together and my toes are apart. This feels really good, and I feel like I'm getting right into the sacrum and doing exactly what I need to be doing here. So just take your time, settle into the shape, and in a minute or so I'll begin to guide you into breath. And so once you've come into your shape, after a minute or two, you may need to just give a little wiggle to begin to soften into the groin area. Check in with the whole leg, make sure the ankle and the foot are completely softened. And then take your awareness to the sacrum, that triangular bone at the base of the spine. And you may be feeling a little bit of pressure there. With your exhale breath, invite softness and spaciousness in your sacrum. It is a fixed or semi-fixed bone, depending how old you are. And imagine you could take your breath right into the center of the sacrum. And as you inhale, you could expand the sacrum. And as you exhale, it would soften and you could find a bit more ease here. And as you bring awareness to the sacrum, notice how this is rippling up the whole spine. By bringing ease into the sacrum, the energy flows upwards through the connective tissue surrounding the vertebra. If your inner groin muscles are feeling this, take some breaths there. And offer this some guidance and support and letting go. Deep breaths. Check in with your jaw, your teeth. Open and close the mouth. Perhaps move your jaw side to side. And then soften your tongue. And see if that helps to release a little bit in the lower part of the body. Allow gravity to assist. And try not to resist. Try not to resist. Focus on the exhale. Moving deeper and deeper into softness in the sacrum. Right down through the coccyx, through the pelvis, the inner groin. This is one of those postures that really helps to deepen the awareness with the pelvic tilt. I'm talking about it all the time in many different yogic postures. And so hopefully here you can feel right into the center of your pelvis at the back. And feel how your pelvis right now is shifted forward. Which is not a usual position. Most people's pelvises are generally shifted back a little bit at least. Wherever you're feeling this, take the breath there and soften.
And so with your eyes closed, imagine the body flipped over. You're in Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, reclined or seated. In probably a much deeper shape than you would be if you were turned over. And so just acknowledge that and how just from moving the physical body in a different direction, you're able to get more deeply into different parts of the body and with relative ease. So we'll stay here for about another minute and then move into a shape of integration. Take 3 to 6 more deep breaths. If your head is to the side, guide your head back to neutral position. Bring your arms in closer. And you can just roll to a side. Move your props out of the way. Come onto your back. And feel the effects of the opening on the front of the pelvis as you lay here in Shavasana, as you lie here in Shavasana. Cover yourself up. Stay warm. And allow the whole body to integrate what you've just experienced. And if you're able to stay, please stay. If you're ready to move on, bring the soles of the feet up to the floor and the knees. And begin your transition up to your seat. Mindfully, with breath. These cards are so deep and so profound. I will, I think I'll separate the two posts. So I will today, I'll do two posts, one for yesterday's card, because there's a few things I want to share with you too about the gene keys as well. And then I'll write about this, this ancestor card for today.
wisdom. I'm just going to read you that last line again. That was really something. Just so you can hold on to this. We may act with more verve and vigor than we have known for many years. And we may sit with greater stillness than we have ever found before. You know what this sounds like? This sounds like the effect of your commitment to 40 days of yoga. Wow. We may act with more verve and vigor than we have ever known for many years. We may sit with greater stillness than we have ever found before. And through it all, we will remember how to be authentic, generous, and bold. For as death owl crones, we can say what we want. We must say what we see, and we will do what we can. And take that as well, too, into everything that is happening right now in our world. So, love the connections. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining me today. Stay well. I'll see you tomorrow for day 37. Namaste.